What is up here, YouTube? Jigsaw0097 here today, bringing you another movie review. This one is a little bit late, as I was not able to see it last weekend. Sorry about this, I'm just backing out of the movie theater here. And this movie is Venom, guys. I finally was able to see it. As you guys probably know, I'm like a die-hard Spider-Man fan. He is my favorite hero. So to see one of my favorite villains, Venom, on screen in his own movie was always a win-win for me. You know, I knew I was going to like it, but unfortunately I didn't love it, guys. I did not love this movie. I'll just get into what I really liked first of all. So, first of all, I really liked the way that Eddie Brock and Venom, their relationship worked. It was a lot different than the comics, but it was very similar at the same time. They kind of both become dependent on each other, and then they just kind of like need each other. And I liked that. I liked that Venom and Eddie Brock kind of grew fond of each other over the course of the film. And he starts out as just like this parasite, and he slowly just becomes part of Eddie Brock's character, and Eddie Brock part of Venom's. So they did that great. And also the scenes where he turns into Venom, while there weren't enough of them in my opinion, I wanted even more of I wanted more of just the small time with Venom. Most of the Venom scenes are like big action set pieces where you can't really tell what's going on a lot of the time because they're symbiotes, you know, they're just like sliming all over the place. I would have just liked more scenes where he turns into Venom and like eats people, I guess. Because that's in the comic a lot. The comic, there's a lot of scenes where Eddie Brock is just kind of sitting around talking to himself, talking to Venom, and then Venom like will eat people. And so they definitely had that. It's just I wanted a little bit more of that. And let's see what another thing about the good. Keep in mind, this is a spoiler review, so if you guys have not seen this, I'm about to talk your head off about it because I don't feel like making non-spoiler reviews anymore. I'm just going to talk about the movie. The after credits scene, guys, shows Cletus Cassidy, and a surprise casting choice, Woody Harrelson, is going to play him, which I thought was, I don't know, it was not expected. I did not think Woody Harrelson was going to be the guy to play Cletus Cassidy. But if you guys aren't familiar with the comics, Cletus Cassidy is Carnage in the future. He will be Carnage. And so they hinted at that. Pretty much he says, like, in the movie, when I get out of here, there's going to be carnage. So he flat out says the word carnage. So that was good. But really, guys, that's about all that I loved about the movie. I really liked seeing Venom on screen. This was like an experience. I don't know how to explain it. It was like the first time I saw... It was like when I saw the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. It was the first time I'd ever seen Spider-Man in a movie. And so it was like an experience. And in hindsight, that one's not even my favorite Spider-Man movie. In fact, it's far from it now. But at the time, I loved it. And that's kind of what Venom feels like. It's like we wanted this iteration of Venom on screen, and we finally got it. However, the way they did it was not the way that we really wanted it. Because I'm just going to be honest, guys, without Spider-Man in the story, it feels cheap. It feels completely unearned. It feels very slapped together. The movie runs at such a pace that it's like there's just no development. If you guys have read the comics, you know that Spider-Man gets the black suit first. Venom actually tries to fuse with Peter Parker, and then Peter Parker doesn't even know what it is at first. He doesn't even know that it's an alien. And when he finds out that it's killing him or whatever, it's stealing his energy away, he rejects it. And that's where the scene from Spider-Man 3 comes. If you guys have seen, well, of course you've probably seen Spider-Man 3, but the scene where he's ripping the suit off of himself in the bell tower and it falls down to Eddie Brock, that's kind of how it is. And Eddie Brock, he gets screwed over by Peter Parker, and then he also gets cancer. So he's at a point where he's dying, and he hates Peter Parker, and then Venom gets rejected So Venom hates Spider-Man, who knows he's Peter Parker, and when they fuse together, they share the same mind, so he knows who Peter Parker is as Spider-Man. That's the way it is in the comic, and that's the way I wish they could have done it, guys. But Sony and Marvel can't get their crap together, and so we got to have this kind of a movie. And I have no idea how they're going to introduce Spider-Man into this movie now. I have absolutely no idea. The way that they made this movie, it's like Venom is already an anti-hero. He's already just kind of, which he was, like I said, he just hates Spider-Man. Venom has never really been like a villain. He just is hungry and he has to eat people. And then he hates Spider-Man, so he wants to beat on Spider-Man. But now I just don't see a reason for him to hate Spider-Man. If they ever do put Spider-Man in, it'll be interesting to see how they do it. Also, there was no spider logo on his chest, guys. So, like, they just completely removed Spider-Man from this movie. And that's what hurts me, guys. It really does. I mean, I'm glad this movie did well. I really am, because I'm so sick of the MCU right now. I'm so sick of just Marvel and Disney making this. I want other studios to be able to make successful superhero movies. And honestly, it's a controversial statement, but I've said it all the time. I wish that Andrew Garfield would have just stayed Spider-Man, because right now we would be getting a Spider-Man Venom movie. I guarantee it. The way they were setting that up, that was like, 2014 when Amazing Spider-Man 2? That means we'd probably be like 2 more movies in right now. So, because Sony's retarded and they decided to just sell the rights off, now we got Spider-Man Homecoming, which I don't mind, but Spider-Man is just, he's not in a good place right now, guys. He's just not. I don't know what they're going to do. They got Venom, they got Spider-Man, who knows what else. I heard Sony's working on like a whole bunch of Spider-Man spin-off movies, like they're doing like an all-female one. I have no clue. It's weird, guys. It's weird. But the good news to me is this movie did well. Spider-Man Homecoming and the next Avengers movie, or sorry, not Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, that's the next one, Far From Home, that comes out next year. That movie and then the new Avengers movie, Infinity War Part 2, are going to be the last 2 movies on Tom Holland's contract with Marvel, because Marvel was only allowed to make 5 movies. So Spider-Man's already been in 3 movies. He's been in Captain America, Homecoming, and the Avengers Part 1. So it'll be interesting to see if Sony and Marvel work out another deal, which I hope they don't. I really do. I don't want him in the MCU. I never wanted it, because I know how much of a freaking mess the MCU is right now. There's just too many heroes, man. There's too many things going on. It's just detached. And part of that could just be me getting older and getting over it more, but I just miss when superheroes were just on their own. I always liked that. I mean, it was fun for like the Avengers, but now it's like every single movie that comes out has to have a superhero tie into another superhero. It's like, Homecoming had this problem with freaking Iron Man showing up all the time. Can we just get a movie about the hero? That's what I want. And so, hopefully if Sony keeps doing well with these movies, they can get the rights back to Spider-Man and put Tom Holland Spider-Man in there with Venom. That's what I hope. I honestly hope that they do that, because I mean, I would have loved to see Andrew Garfield. That's what kills me, man. Andrew Garfield Spider-Man would have been in these movies. It would have been Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, Tom Hardy Venom. That would have been amazing. Who knows what they would have done with that? They could have done the whole Venom origin story. But, it is what it is. So, overall, guys, I kind of rambled on there, but I give Venom a 7 out of 10. I do think it is a very enjoyable movie to watch, similar to the first Deadpool. Like, I didn't love the first Deadpool, but, it was what it was. It was very comic book accurate. The character, they just nailed. And Ryan Reynolds was, like, born to play Deadpool. And this one's similar. It's like, Tom Hardy was a great casting choice. Venom is amazing to watch. I would say it's not comic book accurate, however, but that's why I give it a 7 and not, like, a 9, because it's just a missed opportunity to me, guys. It really is. Not having Spider-Man in this movie is a missed opportunity, and I have no clue how they're going to introduce him in there. So we'll have to see, man. It's a crazy future we have for Spider-Man, the MCU, Sony, all the players that play in this mess of a film franchise right now. But anyway, guys, that is the video. Have you guys seen Venom? If you have, comment down below what you think. If you liked it, if you loved it, whatever. And also, if you're new to this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And to any of the returning viewers that are watching, thank you so much for watching. This has been Jigsaw0097. I will talk to you all later.